مبارک 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 خلافت کے 100 سال سب کو مبارک 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 خلافت کے 100 سال سب کو مبارک نبوت کے زندہ الوہی شجر کی پھلوں سے لدی ڈال سب کو مبارک 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 خلافت کے 100 سال سب کو مبارک کرو بھر کے جی اس کی حمد و ثنا بہت مہرباں ہے ہمارا خدا اکیلے نہ ہو ہم کسی حال میں سو اس نے یہ نعمت ہمیں کی عطا کیا اس نے خوشحال سب کو مبارک خلافت کے 100 سال سب کو مبارک 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 خلافت کے 100 سال سب کو مبارک 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 خلافت کے 100 سال سب کو مبارک رئیس کی چھاؤں میں برکت بہت ملی دین کو ستوت و تمکنت جو خاکی تھے وہ آسمانی ہوئے عطا مومنوں کو ہوئی منزلت یہ عزت یہ اقبال سب کو مبارک خلافت کے 100 سال سب کو مبارک 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 خلافت کے 100 سال سب کو مبارک 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 خلافت کے 100 سال سب کو مبارک یہ دلدار پے کر یہ بہجت رقم یہی ہے سبھی کی مسیحا غم سمٹتی گئی اس کی خاطر زمیں اڑے ہیں فلک پر اسی کے علم یہ اکرام و اجلال سب کو مبارک خلافت کے 100 سال سب کو مبارک 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 خلافت کے 100 سال سب کو مبارک 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 خلافت کے 100 سال سب کو مبارک محبت کے لالوں گوہر رولتے لیا تھام دیکھا جسے ڈولتے وساوس کا تریاق یہ بن گئی ادور رہ گئے زہر ہی گھولتے محبت کی یہ شال سب کو مبارک خلافت کے 100 سال سب کو مبارک 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 خلافت کے 100 سال سب کو مبارک 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 خلافت کے 100 سال سب کو مبارک نئے آسماں کی یہ قوس قزاں صدا المدد کی نوید فتح چلے اس کے نور فراست میں ہم نظر میں تھے سب اس کی حسن و قبا یہ رہبر یہ گوپال سب کو مبارک خلافت کے 100 سال سب کو مبارک 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 خلافت کے 100 سال سب کو مبارک 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 خلافت کے 100 سال سب کو مبارک سمو کے رگوں پہ میں قرآن کو بہت عابدی اس نے ایمان کو کئی رند اس نے ولی کر دیے خدا سے ملایا ہے
اعوذ باللہ من الشیطان الرجیم بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم السلام علیکم adabers. Today I will be here as a, you may call it a master of ceremony, but I am a little chief which is the president of Ahmadiyya Muslim community of Canada. Because today the occasion is regarding Khilafat, which is our spiritual successor to the Promissed Messiah. And in Canadian terms, our big chief, which is the National President of Canada, is present, and that's why we are celebrating. You will be hearing quite a bit, and I have got a little, this moment we are going to have a dinner, and I request everybody please keep sitting. Our members or the volunteers will come and they will take you to the buffet.
خدا سے دل جو لگاتے تو خوب تھا زندہ خدا سے دل جو لگاتے تو خوب تھا مردہ بتوں سے جان مردہ بتوں سے جان چھڑاتے تو خوب تھا زندہ خدا سے دل جو لگاتے تو خوب تھا زندہ خدا سے دل جو لگاتے تو خوب تھا قصے کہانیاں نہ سناتے تو خوب تھا قصے کہانیاں نہ سناتے تو خوب تھا زندہ نشان کوئی زندہ نشان کوئی دکھاتے تو خوب تھا زندہ خدا سے دل جو لگاتے تو خوب تھا زندہ خدا سے دل جو لگاتے تو خوب تھا اپنے تئیں جو آپ ہی مسلم کہا تو کیا اپنے تئیں جو آپ ہی مسلم کہا تو کیا مسلم بنا کے خود کو مسلم بنا کے خود کو دکھاتے تو خوب تھا زندہ خدا سے دل جو لگاتے تو خوب تھا زندہ خدا سے دل جو لگاتے تو خوب تھا مردہ بتوں سے جان مردہ بتوں سے جان چھڑاتے تو خوب تھا زندہ خدا سے دل جو لگاتے تو خوب تھا تبلیغ دین میں لگا دیتے زندگی تبلیغ دین میں लगा देते जिंदगी बेफायदा।
Most of the message is not crossed because it's a law of physiological phenomena that at this time most of the people are with little hypoglycemia, low blood sugar. And blood sugar is very important for the brain, so why not to feed first, let the sugar level come up and then talk. And we are going to talk something about our religion, and majority of the terminology words are very strange. I want you to continue eating, and we have still 8 to 10 minutes, then our next program will start. This is just a warning and not Now we are going to start the real program, but you can still continue to have your tea or spinach. The only thing is, we always start our programs with a recitation from Holy Quran.
بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. وعد الله الذين آمنوا منكم وعملوا الصالحات ليستخلفنهم في الأرض كما استخلف الذين من قبلهم وليمكنن لهم دينهم الذي ارتضى لهم وليمكنن لهم دينهم الذي ارتضى لهم وليبدلنهم من بعد خوفهم أمنا يعبدونني لا يشركون بي شيئا ومن كفر بعد ذلك فأولئك هم الفاسقون. وأقيموا الصلاة وآتوا لعلكم ترحمون. Translation. I seek refuge in Allah from Satan the rejected. In the name of Allah, the gracious, merciful, all praise belongs to Allah, the Lord of all worlds, the gracious, the merciful, Master of the Day of Judgment. Thee alone to be worshipped, and Thee alone to be implored for help. Guide us in the right path, the path of those whom Thou hast bestowed Thy blessings, those who have not incurred Thy displeasure, and those who have not gone astray. Allah has promised those among you who believe and do good works that He will surely make them successors in the earth, as He made successors from among those who were before them, and that He will surely establish for them the religion which He has chosen for them, and that He will surely give them in exchange security and peace after they fail. They will worship Me, and they will not associate anything with Me, and they will not associate anything with Me, and whoso is ungrateful after that, they will be rebellious. And observe prayer, and give zakah, and obey the messenger, that you may be shown mercy.
The next item is, and I am deputized on behalf of the community, the local community, and the whole of Canadian Ahmadis, and the Ahmadis from all over the world, and particularly from our Amir Jamaat, which we call it, means the President, National Amir. By the way, our National Amir is sitting on the table, along with, he has got Naib Amir, which is the second Vice President, and then he has got another big chief or Amir, who is for Eastern Canada, which is Nova Scotia and Montreal, Ottawa, Newfoundland, and Newfoundland, Prince Edward Island. Also in his team or delegate, our missionary in charge, who is actually the spiritual or the religious teaching. Just for a little information, we have got a university in Toronto to train for the religious teaching, which is actually very important for Ahmadis. I am one of those very, very little chief. I am the president of Nova Scotia Jamaat and the New Brunswick also at Prince Edward Island. It's a very great pleasure for me to be here today and see this gathering, because number one, this is the first time this community is knowing as really what the Ahmadis are. And in next about 45 minutes, you will be familiarized with what Ahmadiyya is. But all my friends know very well who they are. Why I say it's a great pleasure for me, because for 35 years I was the only one Ahmadi in Nova Scotia. Not one, but two in Halifax. But when we call about Nova Scotia, we think capital is Nova Scotia, rest is just a part of it. So Now we are about 50 Ahmadis family, and it's a great pleasure for me too that there are about 8-10 doctors, Ahmadi doctors, male and females, are in Nova Scotia and this community. Now I'm supposed to talk only for 3 minutes, and I think I have already taken my time. The message which I am supposed to give is, we are very, very, very thankful to all of you. You have given us the honor, you know. We feel that your presence here is a sort of given us an honor, and we feel that we are communicating with you what we are supposed to. And in future, in the next 25 minutes, you will see all things which will be the message. Again, I welcome you from my community to this gathering. And please don't stop taking tea and eating dishes during these programs. Thank you. Next is the video presentation, and please feel free to turn the chairs so that the screen is on this side.
Islam can be seen as the path of those who are obedient to Allah and who establish peace with Him in His creatures. Islam is the last of the world's great revealed religions. Islam contains all the beautiful teachings of previous revealed faiths, unified under one complete religion. Islam is a universal religion, sent by God for the benefit of all mankind and for all times to come. The oneness or unity of God is at the core of Islam. There is no compromise in His unity. Allah is the personal name of God, the same God of all religions. The Holy Quran is the Word of God. It is a complete source of knowledge and wisdom. The text of the Holy Quran has been perfectly preserved. The Holy Quran is the most recited and memorized book in the world today. The Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, was a messenger of peace for mankind. His noble character and conduct serves as the perfect model for mankind to follow. Muslims hold the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, more dear than anyone or anything else. No one can be compelled to become Muslim, nor can anyone be expelled from Islam by compulsion. Islam holds the sanctity of life in the highest regard and abhors any form of unjust killing. The Holy Quran clearly rejects any form of terrorism and rejects the idea of jihad as a form of holy war. Islam breaks down all racial and cultural barriers. The only thing that differentiates two people in the sight of God is the righteousness of his or her conduct. Muslims all over the world are required by Islam to demonstrate their loyalty and allegiance to the respective countries they make their home. All of the world's major religions have been anxiously awaiting the advent of a great reformer. The expected reformer of the age, the promised Messiah, appeared in the person of Hadrat Mirza Ahmed, on whom be peace, of Qadiani, India. In accordance to Allah's promise, the promised Messiah, on whom be peace, founded the Ahmadiyya Muslim community in 1889. His mission was to unite mankind under the one true banner of God. He proved that Islam was a living faith and showed how man, by following the teachings of Islam, could establish contact with his Creator and enter into communion with him. Khilafat is a divinely appointed institution in which the Khalifa is a successor to a prophet of God. The goal of a Khalifa is to carry on the tasks of reformation and moral training that were initiated by the Prophet. After the passing away of the promised Messiah in 1908, God showed the power of the second manifestation of his communication with mankind by establishing the institution of Khilafat, known as the Ahmadiyya Khilafat. Hadrat Hakim Nuruddin, may Allah be pleased with him, was appointed the first Khalifa on May 27, 1908. He was known for his holy and righteous personality and was recognized as a talented scholar, theologian, and author. Hadrat Mirza Bashiruddin Mahmud Ahmed, may Allah be pleased with him, was appointed as the second Khalifa of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community on March 14, 1914. His period of Khilafat was full of many glorious contributions. On November 8, 1965, Hadrat Mirza Nasir Ahmed, may Allah have mercy on him, was appointed as the third Khalifa of the community. During the course of his Khilafat, the third Khalifa guided the community through times of severe persecution and hardship in Pakistan. Hadrat Mirza Tahir Ahmed, may Allah have mercy on him, was appointed the fourth Khalifa of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community on June 9, 1982. His extraordinary vision and knowledge helped the community progress in every aspect, geographically, spiritually, and morally. He authored many books and oversaw the launching of the first Muslim satellite television network, Muslim Television Ahmadiyya, or MTA. On April 22, 2003, Hadrat Mirza Masroor Ahmed, may Allah strengthen his hands, was appointed the fifth Khalifa of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. As the current Khalifa, he is guiding the community through a time of growing global skepticism and hostility towards Islam. he has been encouraging everyone, especially the younger generation, to come back to the true teachings of Islam. By the grace of God, the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, as of this year, has completed 100 years of Khilafat. The community is holding Khilafat Jublie celebrations all over the world this year in order to express its sincere gratitude to God for granting the community the countless blessings of Khilafat. The last 100 years are a testament to this, as the Ahmadiyya Muslim community has seen countless favors bestowed on the community of the Promissed Messiah throughout the world. The Ahmadiyya Muslim community is advancing rapidly and achieving new heights. The values of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community are the true embodiment of the spirit of Islam, as can be seen from the motto, love for all, hatred for none. The Ahmadiyya community rejects violence and hatred of any kind. Furthermore, the Ahmadiyya Muslim community truly practices the Islamic teachings of service to mankind via its numerous social and humanitarian initiatives.
يا قلبي اذكر أحمدا عين الهدى من العدا برا كريما محسنا العطايا والجدى بدر منير زاهر في كل وصف محمدا إحسانه يسبق النور وحسنه يروي السلام الظالمون
Thank you for that warm reception. Thank you, Nassim, for your introduction. Bon matin, good morning. First of all, my warmest greetings to His Holiness, the Caliphate. Welcome back to Canada. I have fond memories of our first meeting in Toronto in 2005. It's wonderful that you're here during the worldwide celebrations of the centenary of the Caliphate Ahmadiyya. Greetings as well to my colleagues from the Parliament of Canada, Art Hanger, the Member of Parliament for this riding. I know Raheem Jaffer is here, Deepak Oberoi, Senator Burt Brown. I see Alexa McDonough, Savan Dion is also here, Leader of the Opposition. Greetings to members of the provincial legislature, of various provincial legislatures. I know Minister Stevens is here representing the Government of Canada, greetings to the Mayor of Roncagny, to Alderman Colby Urquhart, and to other members of Municipal Council, and of course to all distinguished guests. Fellow Canadians, I want to begin by thanking His Holiness for inviting me to be part of the opening of this magnificent House of Faith. I don't suppose I will be the first to observe that it isn't exactly the little mosque on the prairie. Quite the opposite. It is Canada's largest mosque complex, and a spectacular addition to Calgary's growing collection of architectural treasures. The success of this project demonstrates the deep faith and solidarity of Ahmadis in Canada. Indeed, I understand other mosque projects are already underway in Saskatoon, Brampton, and Vancouver. Clearly, the community is flourishing here in Canada. But this should, ladies and gentlemen, come as a surprise to no one, to anyone who knows this community. Ahmadis are renowned throughout the world for the devotion to peace, universal brotherhood, and the will of God, the core principles of true Islam. Ahmadis are also renowned for working to serve the greater good through social, health, and educational initiatives, as well as mosque projects like this one. And wherever Ahmadis live in the world, you are renowned for enthusiastically participating in the larger community and peacefully living alongside people of all faiths, languages, and cultures. These characteristics place Ahmadiyya Muslims squarely in the mainstream of Canadian society. An excellent illustration of what our government means when we talk about pluralism. This community knows firsthand what it is to experience persecution and discrimination based on your religious beliefs. So you understand at a profound level that promoting religious freedom is an essential building block for peace and stability here and throughout the world. In this we are allied with His Holiness, a courageous champion of religious freedom and of peace. We especially applaud the Caliphate for denouncing those who pervert faith by claiming it as a justification for violence. However we define God, it is wrong to kill in His name. All Calgarians, Albertans, and Canadians can see in this mosque the true and benevolent face of Islam and those who worship in its name. They will also see your love for Canada and your patriotism. Ahmadis have embraced Canada, and Canada has embraced you. The glorious This glorious Beit Nur Mosque announces that you have built a thriving community in this dynamic city and that you have taken your rightful place in our great country. Félicitations, congratulations, God bless, Kadou Hafiz.
I'm so moved to be here with you, to be at the inauguration of what is at the core of what Canada is all about. Your Holiness, Mayor Montagnier, distinguished guests, my friends of the House of Commons and the assemblies of the different provinces. What we see today is what Canada is all about. I have a strong Muslim community in my riding in Saint-Laurent-Cartierville. And my commitment to my communities, Muslim communities, is to be sure that always Canada will show to the world that Muslim communities may flourish and succeed in a secular state like Canada. And that the hate, the hatred, the mistrust that we see around the world is wrong. And there is a way to love each other and to know that at the end of the day, there is one God for one humanity. I will not repeat what have been said by the different speakers before me. It has been so much well said. But there is something in the faith of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community that is striking, impressive. You teach to your followers that loyalty to your homeland is part of your faith. Ahmadi Muslims are proud of the fact that wherever they reside in the world, they become loyal citizens of that country and promote integration and peaceful coexistence with everyone of all faiths, cultures, and religions. In fact, I may quote President of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Community of Canada, Mr. Lal Khan Malik. The opening of this mosque is a historic occasion for the Ahmadiyya Muslims to add to the Canadian society. We invite everyone to use it as a meeting place to build harmony and respect. I love you, I love your community, and I want you to succeed because your success is a success of Canada tomorrow.
Islam Ahmadiyya! Islam Ahmadiyya! Hadrat Khilafat Muslim Movement! Hadrat Khilafat Muslim Movement! Hadrat Khilafat Muslim Movement! Khilafat Ahmadiyya! Khilafat Ahmadiyya! Khilafat Ahmadiyya! Nara Takbir!
Distinguished head table guests, honorable colleagues, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is a distinct honor, privilege, and pleasure for me once again to be here in the presence of His Holiness. I have the good fortune this evening to be sitting between His Holiness and the National President of the Ahmadiyya Canadian Movement, so I've given you 20 more minutes between these two gentlemen and I will find myself fully converted. My colleagues from the federal government have spoken eloquently about this wonderful adventure here in which we are participating as Canadians. And the Ahmadiyya Movement, I want you to know, Your Holiness, enriches our shared experience here. We are attempting something in this country which is largely without precedent in the annals of human history. We are inviting people from the four corners of the world here, and we are determined to find strength in our diversity. And as I was listening to you, Your Holiness, and to our President, it helped reinforce for me that the Ahmadiyya community and your faith speaks to a fundamental understanding, a basic truth that sometimes we human beings who are so focused on our differences, sometimes we lose sight of. And that fundamental truth is this: what's most important when it comes to people everywhere is what we have in common. It's our humanity. The other thing that I could sense from listening to His Holiness and the President was that the Ahmadiyya community speaks to another fundamental truth. History again reveals that we human beings have been more than capable of being selfish and shallow and short-sighted and at our worst mean-spirited. But there is something deep down inside each and every one of us, something that cannot and will not be repressed. Something that tells us it is right to support one another. It is right to care for one another. It is right, dare I say it, to love one another. And those are powerful truths that I like to think inform the ideal we have set before ourselves as Ontarians, here in the greatest province, in the best country in the world. Your Holiness, you are most welcome. Thank you very much.
For more information, please visit us at www.alislam.org.
After seeing this video, I feel very light, because most of the things you have seen, that is the gist of the whole Ahmadiyya. One thing is sure, in the last 15 years, we have an MTA, which is a Ahmadiyya Muslim television, which is 24 hours all around the world, which means about 160 countries. Now, the next item is our guest speakers. According to me, we believe love for all, hatred for none. I will call upon Kevin Sacri, whom I know for the last 30 years. I have delivered his children, his wives, 4 generations I looked after when I was in practice in Fort Moria. Kevin Sacri is heir from Mayor's office. I requested Mayor the day he was inaugurated, which is only 2 days ago, but he said that I will send some people to it. Please, Kevin Sacri.
Thank you, Dr. Khalifa. Our members of Parliament, Mark Eiching, Roger Cosner, Honourable Alfie MacLeod, my colleague, Councillor Dave LeBlanc, I bring greetings from Mayor and Council and all residents of the Cape Breton Regional Municipality on the occasion of 100 years of Khalifa. I am honoured and I thank you for this opportunity to be here. I congratulate the worldwide Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat in their desire to promote harmony among people. And I did visit the website before I came, and I can tell you it's an educational experience. I believe the statement of love for all, hatred for none is so important to our communities today, and we need to continue to promote that way of life. And I thank you for your contribution to our community. A special welcome to Dr. Khalifa's guests who have come to Cape Breton to be amongst us for this very special occasion. And we trust that your stay will be pleasant. As you know, Dr. Khalifa is well known in Cape Breton for his exceptional service to our community and firsthand to my family. As well, he is known for his hospitality, and this occasion certainly demonstrates that. Again, thank you, and I hope everyone enjoys the evening. I would now like to call on my colleague, Councillor Dave LeBlanc, and Dave is going to present, I'd like to call on Dr. Khalifa with a certificate of recognition on behalf of the residents of the Cape Breton Regional Municipality.
Next is Dave Parson. He is a barrister at QC in, although he is a Newfoundlander, but he practiced in Sydney.
Ahmadiyya community, government officials, and friends. It's an honor for me to be here on this special occasion of the 100th year celebration of the succession. I've known Dr. Khalifa for 25, 30 years. And I've traveled with Dr. Khalifa from Pleasant Bay in the Cape Breton Highlands to Shanghai in the Republic of China. And anybody who's traveled with Dr. Khalifa knows that it's an experience. There's no door that he won't go through. There's nobody that he won't talk to. So it's always a pleasure to travel with him. Some of them very interesting travels I had with Dr. Khalifa involved meeting with the Ahmadiyya community. I've had the extreme pleasure and enjoyment of traveling on 3 continents and meeting members of the Ahmadiyya community and their leaders. I traveled to Toronto, met the community there, in Europe, in London, in Rome. Had the pleasure to meet and have fellowship with the Ahmadiyya members and their leader. I was even so fortunate to spend a month in Pakistan, where I met many of Dr. Khalifa's relatives. Also had the pleasure of meeting a number of the Ahmadiyya community there. But my impression of the Ahmadiyya community, it's impressive the way they reach across cultural, religious, and ethnic lines to make people of all creeds and religions welcome. And we have seen in the video some of the examples of the community and the work they've done. And in my travels, I've had the opportunity to witness some of that firsthand and to have the opportunity to listen to the efforts and the undertakings that they urge of their members. The humanitarian efforts stretch from New Orleans to the earthquake victims in Pakistan, to Africa, where there is such a need that we see frequently on the television in the countries like the Congo. The Ahmadiyya community, through its efforts in education, medical help, to yeoman service for needy people throughout the world. We all can appreciate in the global sense, the importance of reaching across these cultural barriers and seeking better understanding of our fellow man, notwithstanding that we're of a different creed and a different language and different ethnic background. The tolerance that the community shows for people of other faiths is instructive, I think, for all of us. The model, which we see behind us there, love for all and hatred for none, I guess really says it all. That if you practice that model, that you can only enrich yourself as well as others. As Dr. Khalifa also said, I've had the opportunity to see the local community establish their house of worship, their mosque. I was involved with the legal background in the acquisition of the land and buildings, and it was impressive to see the way the community came together with enthusiasm and determination to see that although it's a small community, they wanted their place of worship, and they put their shoulder to the wheel, and it's really to see it in action reminds us all of what we can do if we're of determination to do it. We see the community, and as seen from the video, the Ahmadiyya community produces a solid citizen, a citizen of honest effort, of enterprise, self-reliance, all the qualities that we seek to inspire in our own children, in ourselves, and in others. And it's, I think it's instructive to see the way the leaders, our political leaders, without exception, have embraced the Ahmadiyya community. I think that speaks volumes of the true nature of this community. And it's unfortunate that we don't know more about the communities, other communities other than our own. And an occasion like this evening, it gives an opportunity for us to pause and to see. And I think when we leave, we're all better informed and instilled to see what we may do to follow examples that have been shown. Dr. Khalifa, as I said, has been a friend of mine for many years, and I frequently characterize him as the poster boy or the ambassador for knocking down barriers. Anybody who's visited at the home of Angelica and Dr. Khalifa knows that it's a pretty mosaic group that you're going to find there. They're not restricted to any particular ethnic or religious grouping or cultural grouping. And it's always good sustenance and bountiful food. And Dr. Khalifa always has his green tea that he can encourage people to enjoy. And you may even get a chance to have a comment or two about Dr. Khalifa's holding court. It's not always easy to get inward when the good doctor's talking, but sometimes he does give an opportunity. one of the things that we do know, but with I would say with a little frustration, is that we have a lot of people come to our shores, because I think Canada, as was referred again, is a beacon of tolerance and understanding, rule of law, things that we're all very proud of. We have people come to our shores, but unfortunately, the great majority only stay for a little while and move on. Dr. Khalifa has been one that came here and took root, and he's encouraged others to follow. And in that sense, I think he's a great ambassador for Cape Breton. I was reading recently that only something like 2.2% of the newcomers to this country stay in the Atlantic provinces. So I'm sure that out of that 2.2%, there's very few that stay in Cape Breton. I think we recognize that we need more people to stay in Cape Breton. And I think that the opportunity for us as homebred and born Canadians maybe to pause for a moment and think of how we may encourage people to stay in this area a little longer than they do. It's unfortunate that we don't have a greater retention number here in Cape Breton. Maybe it's something that if we extend our hand a little quicker, maybe extend our hand a little further to not only to be friendly, but to be a friend to people from other countries, because as is amply demonstrated, they're an asset to our community, and we certainly welcome them. I appreciate the opportunity to take a couple moments to give my impression of the Ahmadiyya community that I've had the opportunity to have some exchange with over the past number of years. Thank you.
First, Dr. Mahdi Smith. I know Mahdi for lost, I think Mahdi Smith and myself, we came same time to Cape Breton, started there, and we have a close association from the medical profession. He is one of the most senior member in the medical profession.
And yes, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Khalifa, I think looked around the medical community and saw an old fella like me and asked if I would come and say a few words, and I'm very, very pleased to do that. I have had in the last 4 or 5, 6 years, I guess, a fairly close connection with a member of the Ahmadiyya community, Dr. Hager. He worked with me for 3 years, and we had a very close relationship. If he is a representative of the Ahmadiyya community, then I certainly can speak very highly of these gentlemen. More recently, Saima Ghulam has been working in my office, and she and her husband Bernard are excellent people, gentle, kind, caring, and I think that's what we look for in medical doctors, and I would certainly bring the best wishes of the medical community of the Cape Breton area to the Ahmadi community. I've worked somewhat more peripherally with Dr. Sim and Dr. Shazad, and I again say that very gentle, kind, caring people. So on behalf of the medical community, I'd like to bring congratulations to you on your 100th anniversary, and keep it shorter than Dave Parsons did.
Who is Speaker of the Provincial Assembly, representing the Premier Rodney McDonald. Premier could not make it, but and we put a sign exactly the same, Khilafat Jublie 100-year celebration on Grand Lake Road, our mosque. Few mothers came to me and said, Dr. Khalifa, my son came home and he said, Ma, Dr. Khalifa is 100 years old.
Many different cultures joined together. And tonight, we are here celebrating one of those cultures. And it is a real honor to have a chance to learn more about your culture, about your aims, about your goals. And I want to say that it is indeed one of the things that makes me proud to be a Nova Scotian and a Cape Bretoner, is when so many people can come together and share so many different views and yet have the same goals in mind. And this week, as we move towards Remembrance Day, I look at the motto that you have here. Love for all, hatred for none. Words that we should all remember and live by. So on November the 11th, when we go forward and remember, let's take the learnings and the teachings of the people we're celebrating with tonight and make that a part of our celebration for Remembrance Day. Congratulations to you all, and thank you very much for the opportunity to be with you.
Mr. Honorable Mark I.D., Member of the Parliament.
Thank you, Doctor. Roger and I did the flip, and I got to speak. But thank you for inviting us here this evening, along with my wife Pam and Amir Malik, and invited guests to Cape Breton. It's good to see you here. Doctor, it might not be a big turnout like Calgary or Toronto, but for a place like Cape Breton, it's great to see the turnout here tonight. And when you look across the crowd here, you see different religions, different backgrounds, different cultures. So we can be proud here at Cape Breton that to turn up for this evening's special occasion. So I give you all a round of applause for coming here tonight for the doctor. Thank you very much. And congratulations on the 100-year anniversary of peace. But when it was alluded to before, the last 100 years have not been peaceful. And when you look at the reasons, most of the conflicts that happened in the last 100 years were religion-based. And whether it's World War II or even what's happening in the Congo now or what happened in Ireland, it's a sad reality that most conflicts that happen in the world are religious-based, and it's many times picking on a minority. And this movement is a very important movement, and it's hopefully will be a movement that's going to be important for this century. After 9/11, it was quite a turmoil with the governments in the Western world. We talk about the turmoil we have right now economically, but at that time there was a big concern in Europe and North America of the relationship that was going to be happening with the Muslim community. I was on the Foreign Affairs Committee, and the Prime Minister President at that time asked our committee, 10 of us, to go right up around the world, visit all the Muslim countries. And it was quite an experience for me, a Catholic farm boy from Millville, to all of a sudden go to all these countries. But what an eye-opener it was, whether it was Morocco or Egypt or Yemen or
Malaysia, Indonesia, I can't remember all the countries, I think he went to 24 countries. And you really got to understand how another culture, another religion, what they're thinking. But what I found mostly was they think a lot like us. They want to raise a healthy family, they have a God, they believe in peace. And sometimes we get a misunderstanding out there with a small group from any larger group that does something wrong and gets pegged with the same thing. We have it even amongst ourselves. So I think it's very important that this movement is about, and many of us never heard of it. I didn't hear of it until the last few months, so I congratulate them and continue on their road to peace. It's very important, especially in this week. So thank you for everybody coming, and thank you for putting on a good job, Doctor, and all your guests here tonight. Thank you very much.
We are very lucky to have Malik Lal Khan Sahib with our national meal, accompanied by his other delegates.
Members of Parliament, Speaker of the Provincial Assembly, honored guests, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Peace and blessings of Allah be upon you. It is my first visit to this part of the world, and it has been a very pleasant experience to see the generosity and hospitality of the people here. This year, 2008, as you may have noticed from the video, is a very important year in the history of our community. It was 100 years back on 27th of May 1908 that the first successor to the founder of the community was elected. And we have seen a chain of 5 successors, and we are very thankful to God. This year is our celebration of our gratitude to God, and this event, this evening here, is also in a chain of such events. As some of you may be new to Ahmadiyya Muslim community, I will briefly provide for you an introduction to the community and the significance of this evening's event. The Ahmadiyya Muslim community was established under divine guidance in 1889 by His Holiness Ahmed, peace be upon him. He proclaimed to be the awaited reformer of the latter days, for whom followers of all major religions were waiting. His advent was prophesied by the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him. The mission of the founder of the community and the mission of every one of his followers is to convey and present to the world the true teachings of Islam in their uncorrupted and pristinely clear form. The mission of the founder of the community was, number one, to correct the false and violent interpretation of jihad, known as holy war, as presented by some extremist Islamic religious scholars. And number two, to convey to the world Islam's message of peace and love as presented in the Holy Quran and the life of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of God be upon him. In doing so, his mission was to convey a message of human unity and peaceful coexistence, as well as to bring all humanity closer to God. The very name Islam, the name of our religion, means peace through submission to God's will. Peace being the primary focus of Islam is most evident in its greeting, which is also a prayer. The greeting, Assalamu alaikum, peace be on you, is used every hour of the day and night whenever we meet one another. How can a religion, the name of which means peace, promote anything other than peace? The founder of the community demonstrated that terrorism, intolerance, and the war moving of certain factions who claim to be authorities on Islam bear no relation whatsoever to the true teachings of Islam as expressed in the Holy Quran and as witnessed in the life of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him. The Holy Quran very clearly states there can be no compulsion in matters of religion. I quote from chapter 2, verse 257. The founder of the community reminded us of the true meaning and concept of jihad. The true jihad is the internal struggle of the individual to overcome sin. In its outward form, the true jihad is the struggle to overcome suffering, not just that of Muslims, but of all humanity, regardless of their religion, race, or ethnicity. While the outward form of jihad forbids the waging of war, it does so in extremely limited circumstances and solely for self-defense, restoration of religious freedom, and alleviation of suffering. At the turn of the 20th century, when numerous extremist Muslim scholars were calling for a jihad against the British Empire, particularly in India, the founder of the community, His Holiness Ahmed, rejected all such calls and then praised the British for their respect for human rights and the protection of religious freedom. And for this declaration of his, he was pronounced as an infidel. In the opinion of the religious extremists of that time, he was speaking against the spirit of Islam. While he was speaking from the text of the Holy Quran, he was declared to be an infidel. According to him, each and every Muslim possesses a duty to show loyalty and gratitude to the government. Any government which maintains law and order and ensures freedom for all has to be praised. And he taught us that if a person is not grateful to humans, how can he be grateful to God himself? Consequently, without any exception, every Ahmadiyya Muslim remains the most loyal citizen of the country he or she lives in. We are thankful to God that we live in a country that is benevolent and just. On loyalty to country, no Ahmadiyya Muslim will ever make any compromise. Ahmadis are and they will remain true Canadians, faithful to the land they have made their home and remain loyal to it. I am leaving some of the parts which have been explained either in the video or the details have been mentioned by the earlier speakers. According to Islam, all religions originate from God, and thus all of them are essentially true at their source. The Ahmadiyya Muslim community has therefore been trying to bring followers of various religions together by interfaith dialogue, respect and understanding, by promoting and fostering constructive interfaith dialogue, respect and understanding. The founder of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community lived during a time when religious adherents repeatedly and aggressively attacked each other using vile and insulting language. He declared that in most such cases, this attitude was the result of ignorance or misinformation. Therefore, he initiated holding of interfaith symposium. The purpose of this symposium was to discuss and promote the teachings of all religions so that respect and appreciation for all of them can be promoted. This practice continues to date throughout the world wherever practicable by the community. In the past year alone, Ahmadiyya Muslim community in Canada has hosted over 160 such interfaith events. In a time when religion is increasingly blamed for all of world's problems, fostering of constructive and respectful interfaith dialogue serves to re-establish the goodness and value of religion in society. Doing so also promotes love and worship of God, thereby uniting all of us in the cause of serving God and bringing us all closer to Him. In this year, 2008, the Ahmadiyya Muslim community is celebrating the 100th anniversary of the re-establishment of the institution of Khilafat or spiritual succession. The Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, not only prophesied the advent of the Promissed Messiah, peace be upon him, but he also prophesied that he would be succeeded by a spiritual successor. After the passing away of the founder of the community in 1908, this prophecy was fulfilled and his first successor was elected on May 27, 1908. Over the course of the past century, we have been blessed with an unbroken chain of 5 caliphs. Our present spiritual leader, His Holiness Mirza Masroor Ahmed, is the first Khalifa, and we address him as Khalifatul Masih V. The Khalifa and his relationship with the community is unique in the world. Upon the election of each Khalifa, each and every member of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community pledges his or her allegiance to him. The meaning of this pledge of allegiance is the complete dedication of one's life to the service of one's faith. As a result, each and every member of the community takes an oath of dedication, loyalty, and service to the Khalifa. The Ahmadiyya Muslim community is very grateful to God for His continued blessings and protection of this divine institution. The members of the community always pray for the long life and good health of the beloved spiritual leader. I conclude this introduction with our motto, love for all, hatred for none. And I thank you very much for your attention.
I will request Amir Saab for a silent prayer. Amir Saab.
Honored guests, it is our tradition to end such a program on a silent prayer. You are free to pray in your own way. We will be praying for Allah's continued guidance and help for the community, peace and blessings of Allah for our great country, Canada, and peace for the world. So please join me in the silent prayer. Ameen. Allahumma ameen.
Thank you very much. Okay.
मुबारक खिलाफत के 100 साल सबको मुबारक 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 खिलाफत के 100 साल सबको मुबारक नबूवत के जिंदा अलूही शजर की फलों से लदी डाल सबको मुबारक 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 खिलाफत के 100 साल सबको मुबारक करो भर के जी उसकी हमदो सना बहुत मेहरबान है हमारा खुदा अकेले न हो हम किसी हाल में सो उसने ये नेमत हमें की अता किया उसने खुशहाल सबको मुबारक खिलाफत